Okay, so Leonie really wants a little place to do some gardening, and we've got rabbits everywhere around here. So the plan is to fence off this little area. Here's the old greenhouse, which I'm in the process of clearing up. It's missing a few panes, but we'll get this tidied up as well. I think what I'll do is I'll take the fence out to here, over to here and round. We actually used to have something quite similar to this setup years and years back. So I'm just gonna try and rebuild it from memory, but need to... Daisy, over here. What are you running away for? But yeah, I need to try and find 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 posts that could go round. Some wood that we could use as a little surround, and then Leonie's picking up some chicken wire. So let's get started. Let's clear this crap out the way first. Okay, so that's what are we at? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and a bit. So maybe have our first post here. Another post down here, sort of level with the greenhouse, eh? Okay. Looks good. What are you barking at? Come here. Shut up. This is not the best implement for putting these in, but I can't find my big maul, you know, like the giant mash hammer for hitting these down. And I also can't find, I've got one of those heavy weighted things for putting stobs into the ground. I've no idea where it is either, so it'll do for the moment. Now, I managed to get all of that wood from our community hall roof, and that might make some nice lengths for going here. So I think I'll go up and try and find that next. Yeah, if you just leave it there.
And we are into a live 2025. I'm Jake Hurwitz. Wow, hey, there he is. How's it going? Brian Murphy. Good. You might know me from not another D&D podcast. I'm on there every once in a while. I'm back. Just how like everybody's supposed to use.
Right.
Yeah. Which is very funny to picture you like do all this jumping and.
Okay, so I have my 2 posts somewhat laid out here, and then I've got these big lengths which I brought down from the container, and these are the former roof of the hall, the community hall, because they've recently switched to solar panels, and they removed this, which was just like a for show. It's a metal roof underneath, but they had this larch cladding on it, and they've taken the larch cladding off the roof and replaced it with the solar panels. And then they were kind of selling off, as a donation, they were selling off some of these cheap. So I picked up a few. I didn't really know what I was going to do with them at the time, and I think they'll work out. Now what I need to look up, though, is what is the best way of doing chicken wire fence. See, I want to put chicken wire at the bottom of this, but I still think it'd probably be best to put this here and then you put the chicken wire at the bottom, and then like bring it up to here, maybe. No luck? You didn't find it?
No, but I've got the mouse.
Oh, did you find that? Oh yeah. I try and find my saw. I can't find my saw anywhere in there.
That's it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean. Easy. Go. Okay, well, I found an old gate, which is still in pretty good nick. I'm gonna have to go and try and salvage the hinges, but my plan is just to stick the gate on here, and then we'll cut this fence between here and that little half post that I put in, and we can just use this gate. It's gonna be very rough, but that is the theme of everything that I do. Okay, so this is the hinges from the gate. They're actually all right. It's more whether I can get these screws out. Okay. Well, it's one hinge. Nice and straight. It's all right. Okay, well, this one's a little bit bent, but it's not bad. These are both in surprisingly good nick, actually, and they'll certainly do for what I'm intending, which is just a very rough gate. Put these away. Okay, so. These.
I know that this isn't necessarily, but now that I know that he's an
Okay,
old
it's the
man,
next day, sun's out. What do you think, Daisy?
it makes me wonder if
Don't think she's very impressed, but I'm very impressed. I like this. I need to shoot up the little bit at the end here. It's not actually attached to the greenhouse there, but we need to attach that to the greenhouse. We need to actually redo, you can see the old rabbit proofing here. We need to redo the rabbit proofing along the edge here. I've actually taken out some of the old lengths of wood. And then this here is the gate with the salvaged gate and hinges. It swings quite nicely. Of course, it's actually a bit longer than this post. You can see there's the old post that snapped, and then this is the snap piece that I just put into the ground next to it. I think what I'll do is I'll just put a little length of wood, an offcut or something from there, put that here, and that way you can attach a wee string to it, and it's nice and secure. Daisy, no. There we go. Whew, bloody hell. Yeah, I think I might leave this here because I think it might make it easier for putting on rabbit proofing measures, whatever they may be. So yeah, I don't think I want to take this one off yet. Yeah, nice one. Chuffed with that. Right, that's grand. I'll get this wood cleared out here. We'll dig up along here later on. I think what I'd like to do now, actually, is take a look at the greenhouse. So this is the greenhouse. It wasn't purchased new. Everything my grandfather had here I don't think was purchased new, but it has been here for, gosh, I don't know, probably as long as I've been alive. and it's lost a few panes over the years, but it isn't in too bad condition. There's actually this big gigantic bit of plywood there. That's actually just to protect it from storms. This door is a bit jammed shut. My idea was maybe what we do is wedge this door open and just leave it open permanently and just have it almost more as a potting shed than anything else. There's that many panes kind of missing around it that I don't think it would actually matter if the wind blew in here. I don't think it would like lift the roof off because I think all the wind would just basically go straight through it. So I think what I'll do, it's screwed in up here at the top. We'll try and free it off. Maybe see if we could replace some of these wee bits of plywood and just neaten it up a wee bit. It was never the greatest mechanism for opening a door anyway. So I think it's only gotten worse. It hangs off this thing. What's it getting stuck on? Is it this? Gee, but whoever closed this place for winter ensured that it would, it's like opening the tomb of Tutankhamun. Oh my gosh, right, I think that can. Okay. Well, however bad it looks in here, could be a lot worse. I actually tidied up all of this last, because I used to use this for growing tomatoes, just like I used to use the patch over there for growing potatoes. And I managed to grow a fair amount of veg and potatoes and tomatoes in here. And I also did chilies as well in here too. So this gigantic box here, the fishing crate full of potted pots for plants and stuff, I sorted through all these. So these are, I basically figured out what ones I want to keep and what were broken and put them all in there. All of these tools, albeit rusted, I think were all functioning at the time I had them in here. I suppose the only thing that really needs clearing out are the panes of glass, because there's a window pane missing up here and up here in the top corner and down here. And I think some of these broke, and I can see a couple of shards of glass around here. But if we clear this out and we take off this big plywood siding, I think that we get this place looking quite nice. I think Leonie would like it as a, like I said, a wee potting shed, just a place to keep things warm. Even now, you know, you can feel the heat in here. So yeah, this looks quite nice. So I think, yeah, try and clear it out, maybe. Yeah. Okay, there's enough space here. This is long. I think it's...
Well, I just wanted to be able to cover the bottom though. Just lost it.
Hi! 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 There I go. Ferry coming in. That looks absolutely beautiful. But anyway, so yeah, we are at the back of the shed and I'm trying to find some wood to make a table, a little table that will go between the greenhouse and the little outside bit where there's a glass pane missing. Oh wow, look at this. That is like an old tabletop. That bit's nice as well too. That bit's nice. Yeah, so I'm thinking something like that. Okay, I've hammered that in a bit too much. Really?
I think it's 950 pounds.
Seriously? Okay, looking really good actually. We have fenced it, we've put the chicken wire in. I need to rabbit proof this bit over here on the wooden fence line still, but otherwise we're pretty much ready to go. I have built an incredibly shoddy little table over there that we can put pots and various things on. It actually goes into the greenhouse because we're not replacing some of the panes in the back of the greenhouse here. And yeah, we're pretty much ready to get planting. We haven't fully figured out everything that we're going to plant in here, but before we get to planting, I think what we want to do is put some seaweed down, because it would be really good to get some kind of compost or seaweed or something that can fertilize it and rot down into the ground slightly. So I think the plan now is we will take the quad, I think, down with my trailer, down to the jetty. The tide's out. There's been some crazy tides the last few days. What are you up to? What are you up to? We'll get some seaweed and we'll get it spread on here. So yeah, right, let's get started. Trying my best to avoid big branches, bits of rope that wash ashore, because after it all rots down you end up with plastic and wee bits and pieces in the soil that have come in with the seaweed. But when I used to do this with my shenner, because it was always him, I always used to dread the day that I'd wake up probably feeling hungover because it was a Saturday morning or something, and then my shenner would call and say, "Oh, the tide's out. There's some amazing seaweed. We'll have to go get this. We'll have to go get this seaweed to go over and fill up the trailer and then dump it in the garden." But at least I've learned now how to select the best cuts of seaweed from the shore. Lovely rotted seaweed. Right, I think that is enough. This thing seems to have trouble starting at the moment. Doesn't seem to want to start with... This thing doesn't seem to love going in gear. And okay. Wasn't starting before, but it is now. Okay, it's the next day. Beautiful day again today. And this stuff is now bedded in. It's probably going to rot down into the soil and stink, but plenty of good nutrients in there. But I think I'm going to call this video a day. We started this with just a patch of grass, and we now have it turned over, fenced off, rabbit proofed, albeit without, my task today is to do this little bit, but I'll do that off camera. And we have some seaweed in the ground now. The greenhouse is all nice and cleared up. I have my very shonky, shoddy looking table that I've constructed that we can use as a wee potting table. The first plants and seeds that Leonie's been taking on are starting to come through in the greenhouse, and yeah, everything's looking really nice. So really excited. I haven't done much gardening in the last few years. I did a lot back in like 2018, 19, and growing potatoes and loads of stuff. I had chilies and everything in the greenhouse and all that, but in the last few years I've just not really done much of it. So really excited, and I think this will be the start of it. Now, what I'll do off camera, when you come back, maybe what I'll do, I'll make a second video when we are maybe planting in here. But for the moment, I'm just going to tidy up and get the place looking a little bit nicer. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.